Hi everybody, welcome to my special Thanksgiving edition of Cooking with Chef Ken Dad. Today we're going to make the traditional Chef Ken Dad's family Thanksgiving recipe of chicken yakitori. It's a traditional Japanese street food made usually with a barbecued chicken with a teriyaki type sauce or soy sauce covering. We're not going to be cooking it over a barbecue grill today. We're going to be cooking it inside. So let's get started. All right, let's begin. For you at home, you're going to start with 1 pound of chicken, either thighs or breasts. Now thighs are more tender, much more tender. People like chicken breast. You can use either one. It does not matter. So what I'm going to be doing today is 6 pounds. I'm going to put 3 pounds in each bowl, chicken breast, chicken thighs. And I'm going to give you the recipe amounts for you to use at home. For soy sauce, you're going to start with 2/3 cup. Brown sugar, 1/4 cup. Mirin, which is a sweet cooking seasoning from Japan. With mirin, you're going to be using 2 tablespoons. Sake, Japanese rice wine, 2 tablespoons. You can use 4. It doesn't make much of a difference, but it will give it a little more bite the more sake you use. Minced garlic, 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, teaspoons of minced garlic. And what I love to do to sweeten it up a bit is pineapple juice, 2/3 cup. Now that's for you to use at home. I'm going to be scaling up quite a bit. All right, now I'm going to begin with my scaled up version. I'm using an entire container of soy sauce. I'm going to just pour it in. Now in this other bowl that we're going to be putting the breast in, I'll be doing the same exact measurements. So I'll just do 1 bowl now for brevity and ease of understanding. This is a large one. This is 1.2 liters. That's how much I'm making today. Now the brown sugar. Since mine is about 4 times bigger than what you're going to be doing, maybe a little bit more, I'm adding an entire cup and another half. So I'm putting in 1.5 cups. All right, now we're going to add the mirin. Mirin is Japanese for like and subscribe. Actually, it's just a seasoning. Now in your recipe, you're going to be using 2 tablespoons of mirin. I'm going to be using 6. And there. I've done this before. Remember, as I say in most of my videos, baking is science, cooking is art. Get it. Rice wine. Everybody's favorite. Not the greatest flavor, but you know what I mean. What we're going to do with rice wine, when you add yours, you're going to be using 2 tablespoons. Again, I'm using 6. And 1 for grandma. And 1 for grandpa. Nah, I'm kidding. Now for the minced garlic. 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, teaspoons. I prefer to use what's already in a can or a jar. It's easiest. However, you can use 2 whole cloves. It's much more difficult to peel and mince. It's all up to you. But I prefer that you do this, and it's easier for everybody all the way around. Now, when you open it, be prepared. There's an odor that comes out of garlic. Since it is garlic, it'll be strong. Now you're using 2. I'm using 3. And 4. There we go. A couple points I want to make. When you're using brown sugar, always use the dark. The dark adds a heartier flavor when it melts into the sauce. And any can you buy in the store has been sitting there collecting dust. If we're going to pour out of it, clean it first. And now that we've got it clean, this is a can opener from back when I was a kid. It's different than what you're used to. I don't know if you can do this, but we're just going to open up on each side a little bit for pouring. Make sure you shake the can well before you open it. Now, for pineapple juice, you're going to use 2/3 of a cup. I'm going to use 1.5 cups. Now, I'm going to stir it up a little bit more. There we go, 1.5 cups. Now, everything's in there. Now, all we have to do is stir it up. Make sure when you're mixing that you mix it till the brown sugar is completely saturated into the liquid. You'll feel it on the bottom like mud. Just keep stirring and stirring and stirring. You'll know when. So we're going to set our sauce aside and grab our chicken. These are thighs. You can wear gloves when you do this if you like. It's all up to you. I'm going to use bleach to sanitize this, so I'm not worried about it. Fat, leaving the fat on is not a bad thing, but the big chunks you can cut out. All you want to do is each thigh is going to go into about 3 pieces. The gristly ones you can set aside, but that's about the size you want it to be, right there. Now, like I said earlier, I've already mixed for the breast. This is the same mix as we used in the thighs. And remember, Marin is Japanese for like and subscribe. We're going to put that off to the side. Now we're going to cut our breast. Breast is a little bit more of a tougher eating chicken. It can still be tender. Make sure you cut it lengthwise. We're going to cut off the fat pieces and we're going to put it all in here. So let's get ready and start. And there we have it. All the chicken thighs are now cut and soaking. We'll put them in the refrigerator and we'll leave them for 3 hours. And we're back. It's been a little more than 3 hours, but that's okay. You can let them marinate as long as you like, overnight even. Here is the bowl that has the thighs in it. They are tender, they are juicy, they are ready to go. Over here, we have leeks. We're going to cut the leeks now. The reason we didn't cut them ahead of time and let them marinate is because they will turn to mush. We want to cut them now, and then we'll put them in the chicken when we cook it. First, just cut off the ends. You can see it kind of looks like an onion, and it's very, very hard. You're going to cut them in sizes about 1/4 inch thick. And that's what we're going to have. All right, let's get to work. And there we have it. We have the leeks ready to go. Traditionally, chicken yakitori is a street food sold by street vendors. It's on skewers like a kebab, and it's barbecued, so it's charred, and then dipped into the yakitori sauce. Because of the time of year and the amount we're doing, we're going to be doing it inside today. We're going to cook it on cast iron skillets. So what you want to do is heat them up to medium high, and once they're hot, we'll get started. Something I forgot to mention that I want to let you know. If you're going to use a skewer, a wooden skewer, and you're going to be barbecuing it, soak the skewers for an hour at least in water to make them fireproof so they don't burn while they're cooking. Now, let's go over here. These are our thighs. It's what we're going to start with. Look at that nice brown. Oh, they look delicious. So what we're going to do is just take a bowl full to get started, and the juice comes with it. These are nice and hot. Listen to this sound. Oh, that's a great sound right there. So we're going to grab our plastic spoon or our wooden spoon, whichever you like, and we're going to stir it while it's going. Let those brown up. You're going to do a little bit at a time. You can do more, you can do less. Since I have 6 total pounds I'm going through. I'm going to throw a few more in there now to keep it going. Now the breast over here, same thing. The breasts are brown, and you can see they're coated, and they look delicious. So we're going to take this one over here. Oh, I love that sound. So we're going to let them cook down a little bit. We're going to let the sauce reduce, and we'll come back in a few minutes and show you what progress we're making. So sit tight. This is going to be great. Okay, now let's take a look at our chicken. It's coming along. You can see that the marinade is starting to reduce. I turned it up to high just to help speed it along a little bit. Takes a little while to cook. We're going to let it just keep cooking. But in the meantime,
God, that smells good.
In the meantime, we're going to start the rice. Now, rice is always a 1 to 2 ratio. Whatever amount you use rice, use twice as much water. So what we're going to start with, we have to wash the rice first. We're going to use 3 cups of rice. And we're going to wash it in cold water. It's just a repetitive process. Filling it up, rinsing it, running it off. You can see the starch running off the rice. You get the hand in it, work it around, running it off. Hopefully you wash your hands first. 2 or 3 times, it'll run clear, and then we'll be able to start the rice. Now I'm going to use a rice cooker. I'm going to put my 3 cups of rice in. Remember, I said twice as much water. So we're going to use first 3 cups. You know, I waited a long time for Uncle Roger to send me my free rice cooker, but he never did. 3 cups. 6 cups. We're going to close it, and we're going to turn it on. Hit the power. Then we just go, I don't know if you can see the settings there.
Yep.
I can't. White rice, and we let it sit. And it'll start all on its own. And when the rice is done, we'll let it stay in there to stay warm. And what we're going to do is serve the chicken with the reduction of the marinade and the leeks over the rice. See you in a few minutes. All right. Now, when we say that the marinade is reducing, it truly is. It thickens as it cooks down. You see that bubbling? That's just the beautiful flavor coming into it. So we're going to add a little more. And our first batch is almost ready. We'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, everybody, I want to show you something while it's cooking. Look here. See how it's bubbling up around? That is good. Let it do that. When you stir it too much, it'll disappear. It'll start bubbling up again. That's the sauce reducing. So when you see that, it's a good sign. Let it reduce. Once it's thicker, we're going to take it out and start another batch. See you again in a couple. All right, our first batch is about ready. Just to be safe, we're turning them off. Look over here. And I just lost my cover. See how thick that is and how caramelized it is on the chicken? That's what we want. So we're going to take our first batch out. I advise maybe using something bigger than my little spoon, but I've started. I'm going to finish. And I'm losing. Anyway, we're going to get it all out. Look at that. That is some delicious chicken. We're going to put the breast on the other side. Remember, the breast is a little chewier, but not a lot. So I separate them, so if you want the breast, you can have the breast. If you want the thigh, you can have the thigh. And another piece on the floor for the dogs. Now let's look at it over here. It's beautiful. We're going to repeat the process over and over again. And as you can maybe see, I put in leeks. I just forgot to tell you about it. So I'll show you the next time. We're going to cook all the rest of this chicken off until it's done, and then I'll be back with you. I want to let you guys know something while it's cooking. Remember, I added a little bit more sake to mine because I like it to have a little more robust flavor. If you like, and you like it a little bit sweeter, you can add a little more pineapple juice. If you want it sweeter, add a little more than you think because it cooks away and you want the sugar reduced down into it. You could add a little more brown sugar. You could even add a couple of drops of sesame oil to it if you like. But these are the kinds of things you learn as you go along. You can change it to however you want it. So I'm back to finishing it up. See you in a few minutes. All right, we're on our third batch here. We're coming into the home stretch. I didn't show you earlier, so I'm going to add some leeks now. That's my bird. He's in the background in another room. Can't help but hear him. There we go. Cook them when they're about halfway, or put them in when they're about halfway through cooking a batch, and they'll cook out perfectly. Now here's the kind of rice I'm using. It's just white long grain rice. Whatever brand you prefer is what you should get. And remember, this is usually a street food, a vendor food, served on skewers. Rice is not traditionally a part of yakitori. However, we are cooking it and we're going to serve it over the rice with more sauce. I want to tell you guys something that's very important, so I want to make sure I have your attention on this one. The soy sauce and the mirin in this recipe has a higher sodium content than a dog can handle. This is not good for your dogs. So please remember, this is good for humans, not for dogs. Once you've had all your chicken cooked, there's going to be marinade left over. And we're going to thicken that for a sauce to pour over. We're going to make a cornstarch slurry. You have to use cold water. You cannot use hot. And that's my bird again, just ignore him. Mixing cold water with the cornstarch. Stir it so you have a nice, you don't want a paste, you want a liquid like milk. And there we have it all stirred up. Now, as you can see, that's the leftover from the marinade. We're going to pour it in, stir it, and you make it as thick as you want. This is the point where if you want to make it sweeter, you can add brown sugar, you can add white sugar, you can add pineapple juice, you can do whatever you want at this point. Now, if we just let that sit, it'll thicken and make a great sauce for pouring over the top. And there you have it. The rice is done, so let's give it a try. Turned out perfect. Nice and steamy. Come over here, get some chicken for the top. We got our leeks in with it. If we can get it scooped up, we can. And there you have it. It's delicious, it's sweet, it's savory, it's filling. It's a very good dish. I hope you enjoy it. No dish would be complete without a nice ice cold Coca-Cola. Once this is filled, we know that the holiday season is here. Delicious.